All right, what's up, everybody? We got
we
the band
go.
back together for you guys. There we go. Season 8, episode 36.
I think that's what I put on there. Yeah, 36.
Yeah. All right. The Evening Juice with Lemon City Live.
We're back.
Oh Lord.
Straight from Qatar.
Oh man, it's been a while, bro. We're streaming on your Facebook at Lemon City Live, on your Twitter at Lemon City Live,
Yeah.
and still going on the 5 Reasons YouTube network. They haven't kicked us out yet. Shout out to Ethan Skolnick. That's our boy.
That's our boy.
Go ahead and give him a follow at 5 Reasons Sports. We got a lot to talk about today. Fins,
Yeah.
World Cup. That's really those only 2 subjects we're going to get into, but we get a lot in those 2 subjects.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do.
Yeah, we've been out since November 16th, bro.
It's been about a month since we've done a show. Now, to be fair, though, we've had a couple of guys in Kevin and Jake who've been carrying the torch with the Pause Up podcast for the last couple of weeks.
Great work. Doing great work.
Yeah, they got the athletic director from FIU, the soccer coach to join them. You just get us.
Coach Kyle, bro.
They'll get guests.
Yeah.
You guys watching, you just get us.
I tried getting us a guest for today, but my DM powers have slipped ever since I got engaged. They're not as good as they used to be.
Luka Modric was busy today.
He was.
Yeah.
He was busy.
I had Messi was booked, but we got to bump him. Because we got to talk Fins. We weren't going to be able to squeeze him in there, but yeah, true. we do got plenty to talk about. It does feel good to be back, get the gang back together here. But like we do, it's been a while. We just, even though it's been a while, we still got to start off just like we always do with the little weekend phony and who's got the juice. I struggled, but I got mine. So when you guys are ready, I'm down. I can go first if you guys want.
Go ahead.
All right, I can give you the juice because I'm still struggling on my phony.
I'll start off with my phony then. I like to save the juices for last.
Okay, all right, go.
So my phony. Well, it has to go to Greg Berhalter, bro.
Yeah.
Ooh. It has to.
Solid.
Yeah, man. You can't. Things
I'm piggybacking off yours already.
Yes. Man, it doesn't matter which one of your players, is acting up. If you handle it, you keep it in the locker room, man. Leaking shit to the media is a last resort.
Yeah.
And if it was apparently taken care of, why leak it? Why even? It wasn't even a leak. He just straight up talked about it without mentioning Gio Reyna's name. But
and he was the only guy that fit the mold of what they were talking about.
Actually, when I saw the story, when I saw his Berhalter's quote, I was like, oh, it's got to be Weston McKennie because that guy's he's crazy, like he sneaks out of the hotel during COVID to go party in Nashville. So
he was in his doghouse briefly, but very briefly.
Yeah. But then when it came out that it was Gio Reyna, it made all the sense in the world.
Yeah, I agree. I got to piggyback on your phony. Berhalter, I've been clamoring for. It's weird because usually when you have a new cycle, like right at the end of a World Cup, as soon as the team gets eliminated, they're usually like, all right, coach gone. Like the Mexican coach gone in a second. Yeah. Brazil, I don't even think waited an hour after the game, and they're like, Tite, get out. They were getting rid of their coaches. We're the only ones that are like, well, maybe we should keep them around. And it's weird because if in essence, before the World Cup, if I said, hey, look, the USA with this young squad is going to make it out of the group stage and play a competitive game in the round of 16. Would that be a successful cup? But it feels like even though we had that kind of successful cup, we've had so much more that we felt like we could have accomplished that it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right what we did get. You know what I'm saying?
Because you've seen the mistakes that Berhalter has made.
Yeah.
Not like this one is off the field and it was a big one, but on the field, you see it. Like it's very apparent. Like even Van Gaal called him out in the post-game press conference. Yeah. Saying that he didn't make any adjustments. Like, come on, bro. You can't get clowned by another coach like that.
Got clowned dirty. Shout out to Kevin. I love his YouTube picture with his, like, what is that? What's the instrument that he's got there?
It's a trombone, bro.
Trombone? Okay, I love that. Like, Kevin, don't ever change it.
Shout out to the boners out there.
Stay like that forever.
He's awesome, man. I love it. No, but yeah, Greg Berhalter. Let me try it again. He gets my phony. Dude is a total clown. Wears clown shoes, in the words of our esteemed colleague
Greg the Peg.
That's Greg is just get him out of here, man. Yeah. It's trash. Unbelievable.
I'm
But you
gonna
know
keep
what?
it.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say my phony, and it's a team, and going into World Cup, the big time favorite Brazil. To me, they didn't have. It's all the firepower, all the star players, all the star names, all everything on the table was there for them. Was there for them to make it at least to the semis, against Argentina, because everybody wanted to see that.
No,
And they didn't make it there. And to me, they needed to at least make it to the semis with the type of team they had. And that effort against Croatia was weak. I think they got pushed around. I thought that they didn't man up in that game. I know they're young. And it happens when you go to penalties. Anything can happen, especially if you got a young guy like Rodrigo kicking first. Usually you have like a stud first and the stud last.
That's the risk you run. Do you run a Neymar 1 to secure yourself that first goal and, hopefully not get down early? Or do you run Neymar 5 to close it out? It's a tough one. I agree with the Rodrigo choice was a little.
Penalties, you got to start out. You got to see that ball inside the net. So I would go with my guy and then your other guy there. But it's just Brazil let me down in this tournament. I expected more, not just in that game. I expected more during the tournament. I expected something more from the team. That flair wasn't there.
Delivered. They only lost the one game in the group stage, and it was at the end when they already had won the group. They won their first 2 games. They won without Neymar. They did. I thought they played well. They just had. I thought after the Neymar goal against Croatia was
fantastic.
Fantastic. Beautiful. And I was so happy because he got
5
that
minutes.
moment.
You got 5 minutes plus time, and you don't finish out a game being the favorite, having all those players,
but
having the experience.
To be fair, I don't want to. I know they're the favorite, but Croatia's no joke. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's.
But they got joked today, and Argentina's been the other way around, from less to more. But that's going to be my next thing.
You got the best player on earth on their team. Look, I thought the Neymar goal was fantastic. I was so happy for him because I'm not a Neymar guy, but I like seeing the big guys on the big stage have their moments. And I thought that was a Neymar moment. He's always been like,
that was an amazing goal. That was an
amazing goal. You got the moment. It was exciting, but then they lost their focus for those last 7 minutes and allow that equalizer.
They disappointed me.
To me, I'm not going to let that 7 little minute lapse there, that little one momentary lapse. I don't want to say they're phony. I think that just Croatia was just the better team.
They're my phony.
Respect to your phony, but
they're not the better team, man. They're not the better team, man. With all that talent, you have to get it done.
I feel you. Well, all right. Who's the juice? I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Because I'm pretty sure we all got the same one, man. It's got to be Lionel Messi. The guy,
of course.
Is that just raise your hand if it's Messi?
I'm gonna go with Argentina as the team, and then I'll tell you why.
Okay. All right. To me, just Messi. I think, again, going back to what I just said about Neymar, watching the big guys have their moments, you're seeing it. Messi couldn't score in the knockout stages. He's got a couple of goals already. He's creating opportunities. This team is playing, and we're finally we didn't watch Pele play. I watched some Maradona a little towards the end, but I didn't get that prime. I wasn't into it when the prime Maradona was around. So you got all these GOATs, but we've been blessed to have 2 GOATs, 2 generational players go head to head. I wanted to see a final between the 2 of them. Obviously, we're not going to get that, but seeing what Messi's been able to put together this World Cup has been phenomenal. It's exciting to see that
redeeming for him.
It's redeeming. It's everything. I felt like he kind of lost the step a little bit initially when he first got to Paris, and then now he's finding his rhythm and it's carrying over into the Cup. I also think that pass that he did in the last game, no look. I don't even make that pass. I don't even make that pass in FIFA because the AI in FIFA would not allow that pass to happen. Like it's not a tangible thing.
The angle, the moment, the perfection, the moment the way the guy stopped it too is crazy.
The whole thing. Yeah. And it was just, to me, he's having himself a tournament. I hope.
And then he had another one today.
Oh yeah, the third goal. Yeah. Look, I hope he finishes it off. I hope, and we'll talk more about it, but I don't want to go into it a little too much right now. But yeah, that's my He's my
juice.
My
my juice is Argentina because they were a goal away from getting knocked out in the first round in the group stage. Yeah. That's how close they were to going home. And then this is a type of team that somehow starts, wins games, and gets through, biting their nails, and then they keep getting better and better and better. I didn't expect them to wallop Croatia the way they did. I thought they could win because when you have Messi, you always have a chance. But they had the most complete game they've played the whole tournament today, and they looked like they can beat anybody. So I was impressed by the team. Obviously Messi, but the whole team, because it's a team game, and they played an amazing game. Just like Croatia bullied Brazil, somehow Argentina flipped it on them. They flipped it on them. They bullied them. They didn't let them move. They didn't let them do anything. And then boom, 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 they got them out. I'm shocked that it was such a complete game for them. So they're looking good right now.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna there you go. I'm gonna piggyback on you for my juice. With a spicy sports nugget. Here we go. So this is something that Messi has been longing for his entire career with Argentina, is a supporting cast, right? And now he's actually getting some help, bro. He's not the only one scoring goals. This kid, Julian Alvarez.
He's a kid.
He joins, listen to this. He joins Pelé, Gyula Zengeler, and Carlos Pucelli as the only players under 23 with multiple goals in a World Cup semifinal or later.
Wow.
Look at that.
He's destined for greatness.
That kid is having a turn. He's probably going to win. I don't know if they have best young player or something like that. I think they do. But he's probably going to win that award.
Probably. Yeah. Good head start. Good head start. Kevin says his phony is easily the ref that called the roughing the passer on Jalen Phillips. I thought that was he's absolutely right. That is such a good phony. I was watching that and I'm like, thankfully we still got the punt out of that, but that was just bad.
From the beginning.
I'm gonna give honorary juice to Kevin for that great segue, because let's talk about it. But we're gonna start off the show with a little Miami Dolphins after our phonies and juice, man. Yeah, we haven't talked about the Finns since they were winning games. Now that they've had 2 straight losses, bro.
But we said what they were gonna do. Didn't we? We said they'd win those 5, be 8-3, and then the next 3 games would be tough. That's where we're at.
Well, we gotta look at it in perspective here. We played couple road games, back-to-back weeks out on the West Coast, and look, the Niners. That one left me scratching my head. Look, Brock Purdy, is that his name?
Yeah, Brock
Party
Purdy.
at the Purdy Lounge.
I think the next Brady. Just call him Brock Brady Purdy.
Brady Purdy. When going back to that, we opened up that game with a 75-yard touchdown pass, and then. You find out that the quarterback, Garoppolo's out possibly for the season. I'm like, oh, it's in the bag. And then I don't know what happened. To be honest, I didn't watch that game. I was busy tending to some personal things, so I didn't get a chance to see that. And I'm following along on the updates, and I'm like, okay, this has got to be, like we got this in the bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Dolphins happened.
Yeah, like what happened here? I chalked it up to like, all right, hey, we're allowed to have a bad game. We hadn't had one in a long time. We're talking about a guy who got his first loss in a game that he started and finished all season. So, an 8-4 is not bad. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and complain about it, but there were some things to worry about. And what did you pick up on in that game that made you, scratch your head? I'm not even talking about the Chargers yet. I want to break down this 49ers part about it.
Well, we didn't. The pass rush was out of control. I mean, he didn't have much time to think, and that's where they talk about those elite quarterbacks, where the play, everything is off sequence, things are broken down, and you make something happen. It's very hard for Tua to do that. He's not the most athletic guy, but he still had some open throws. He just missed them, so that threw me off. I was surprised he was off by so much. There was even some short throws. He was throwing it over the guys' heads. It looked like he was tight. He was pressing. It looked like I don't even want to say the word nervous, but it kind of looked that way. I don't know if
why.
he was.
Yeah, I don't know why he would be. Like, it's definitely something in his head because his
It's
throws,
emotional.
His
it's
throws are
thing.
way off. So I don't know what it is. I wish we could pinpoint it because
the weather.
Honestly, it's I don't know. It's weird, and you see it in his throws. They're super off. And for somebody who's gotten a lot of attention this season for being very accurate,
yeah,
the simple passes are just not there.
So
his whole career, he's been accurate.
Mm-hmm. And that's a good point, Xavi. His whole career he's been accurate, so there's been a big significant drop off. It started with San Francisco. It carried over into the Chargers game. I mean, that first half was 3 of 17. Like, dude, at some point you got to just, a couple little checkdowns and just get the confidence up. But 3 of 17 and just the horrible first half.
Yeah.
It leaves me scratching my head a little bit, in the sense where I'm like, well, maybe he just got ahead of himself. Maybe he just, was feeling himself a little too much. Hey, Tuanon is in full force. I got the army behind me. Maybe it's a thing where all of a sudden, feeling himself a little too much. But I don't know. And now it doesn't get any easier with another road trip, all the way to Buffalo. And
this could be the
ugliest
one. This could be the ugliest of the 3 games, not just because it's division rival. Buffalo is coming after Miami. They're still that first game that they lost. They want to prove that was crap, and they want to put it on us. So this is gonna be a huge game from Tua. If he has another meltdown like that, how do you justify it? What's going on? And the coach, he didn't make the adjustments from the San Francisco game. He knew they figured him out. They know it's the same. They're mirroring. So they showed, the game plan, how to shut it down. And the Chargers did amazing. But let me tell you something. I'm watching that game and the Chargers got away with 10 pass interference.
Yeah,
there was a lot of holding. There was a lot of hitting a fraction of a second before that would get called before, in other games. Didn't get called. I mean, there was a lot of fouls in that game that didn't get called. Against
we
the
get called
receivers.
on that roughing the passer that Kevin mentioned earlier. Yeah, when Tua gets almost killed in a play against Cincinnati, they didn't call any penalty on that one. But anyway, Kevin also, with that great profile picture, says 49ers game was disappointing, but cannot be mad about losing to arguably the best team in the NFL. Miami kept it close to the very end. Chargers game was not good at all.
But they had Purdy. They have Purdy. Yeah. If they have Garoppolo the whole game, I can take it. But they brought in Purdy, and they still dominated our ass.
And Kevin also says the division's on the line this week against Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. I want to say San Diego Chargers again. Say it. San Diego Chargers. I mean, there's nothing there good about them. I really don't like losing to the guy from the Wonder Years, the older brother.
He played amazing, bro.
He had a great game. He had a great game.
The only plus about the game for me personally is that I got Justin Herbert in our fantasy league, in our keeper dynasty league, and he had his best game of the season, which leads me to think that now he's finally. I felt like all season he's been working with an incomplete roster, and
he's been injured.
I felt like, wow, this is the perfect time for him to get hot. He already played the Dolphins. Let him blow up now and win me a fantasy league so I can retire from fantasy football.
I know who my phony is. Edwin's my phony. He didn't pick Tua for his league. He picked Justin Herbert.
Hey, it
it's
was
business.
It's business first. And honestly, to be fair, I try to stay away from every Dolphin because I cannot be objective when it comes to making my lineup. I always every time I have a Dolphin in my lineup, I'm like, oh,
you should have got Tyreek.
He's gonna throw.
How about if you would have got Tyreek? You'd be good if you got Tyreek.
Even Tyreek, I thought about it this season because I had him last season on the Chiefs, and I was like, you know what? I can't be objective. I'll just every week. It's just.
I got burned like that this week. This season with Gesicki.
Yeah. Oh, you went with Gesicki.
But it's not his. Well, you should have seen from the beginning, man. All that negative talk. The coach wasn't going to play him.
Yeah. It is.
But also, those 2 tight ends that had a good season. So.
Kevin says, I had CMC in another league, so I wasn't mad at how he played against the Dolphins. Yeah, there's that silver lining. You know what I mean? That's that little and in fantasy. And by the way, in our Lemon City League, I had the first round bye, number 1 record in the league on the regular season there.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I'm having a pretty good fantasy year. Both my teams are in the playoffs, so
it's not fair. You're NFL Stradamus. I mean, you got inside.
I tried to warn them, but they wanted me in the league.
Information, but
and by the way, I got my full top 5 and bottom 5 coming up.
Lord,
shortly there, but yeah, I'm telling you. Going back to the Dolphins though, running games hasn't been there. The
non-existent.
Non-existent. Waddle's been not a factor for the last couple of games, which is
Yeah, he's had some drops.
Hasn't been. Tyreek has been putting up the numbers even in the bad games.
He's the season MVP.
He's a real deal. He's a real deal.
He's definitely the real deal. Plus that crazy fumble return, get out of here, dude.
How heads up is
hard,
that?
bro.
How heads up is that? And then you see the
phenomenal.
Speed, the speed of this guy against other elite athletes. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Lives up to the name Cheetah. You know what I'm saying?
Seriously.
For sure.
But look, across the board, our defense hasn't been stepping it up. We're not scaring anybody with this defense, which is a big step down because it's kind of what that's been our bread and butter for the last few seasons. And under the Flores regime, it was our bread and butter was we'd always have a good defense. We can really, put up a fight, but we're not causing any turnovers. We're not putting any pressure the way we want to. It's been real
and way too many penalties.
So coach has got to fix that. I mean, he's really got to. I thought by this late in the season, hopefully now he'll click it in gear and make the changes that he needs to make the adjustments. Because I thought also, look, Mike McDaniel, guy's awesome. We got the same birthday. Of course he's gonna be cool. But when it comes to going up against the Niners and his old team, maybe same thing. Maybe he just was a little too into it. Tried too hard, or sometimes he outthought himself about what he was capable of doing, and maybe that hurt us. But again, with the Chargers game, it's inexcusable, man. We were just playing so bad. No running game, couldn't get the passing game going. Our defense wasn't stopping anything. Dumb penalties. It's like you go across the list of everything you don't want to do. We were checking off every box. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And it's struggling. Kevin, and that fantastic picture again. I will put up all your comments, Kevin, just to see this picture. I might even make it our background. This is something I want to mention. Is it just me? Or is Tua only going to Hill and forgetting about Jalen Waddle? Jeff Wilson also injured, sadly. I don't think he's not going to Waddle. I just think that, they're fine. Look, they kept highlighting it in the game on Sunday. The guy that was covering Tyreek, they kept highlighting what a good job he was doing about really limiting him. And I mean, besides the one big play and the fumble recovery, which wasn't his fault, he did a pretty good job of keeping Tyreek in check for most of the game. So defenses are gonna, if they can figure out a way to at least not control but limit what Tyreek is capable of, that means they could put more focus on a guy like Waddle. So I think maybe that's where the struggle's been coming in the last couple of weeks. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if maybe it is a thing. Maybe maybe Tua is only looking one way or going to Tyreek first. Maybe he got a little too complacent or too.
Maybe that's what the Niners figured out.
Yeah, they forced them into that. Could be. But we'll see. And again, now we're in Buffalo. Division's on the line. I still don't think Buffalo. Look, man, Buffalo's winning ugly. They're not putting up points like they could. Their running game is worse than ours.
Atrocious.
Their defense. They lost Von Miller for the season. Look, they got this thing about, Bills Mafia, and then, it's going to be cold and snow. But again, I don't like the weather arguments because
it affects them. It definitely affects them.
But it affects everybody equally. Like the only time that that the weather argument I think is a good argument is when teams come to Miami in the hot months, because the Dolphins are literally in the shade the whole game. You know what I mean? And the visiting team has to be out in the sun. So it is a thing.
But I mean, individually,
they're experiencing.
I mean, individually, it seems to bother him for some reason a little more. I don't know if he uses the gloves or he needs to use the gloves. Some of the quarterbacks in the cold for their grip. And
but wait, are you talking about?
I'm talking about Tua. I'm talking about Tua.
I feel like I haven't seen enough Tua in the cold. I don't think I've seen enough Tua in the cold.
Go back to his game. Just like they were saying that, 50-degree weather in those games. Like he's had some crappy games for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's since those are usually later in the season and the teams have time to figure out some stuff. Maybe that's causing they're playing better defense against them. I don't know what, but there's something going on with him, and he needs to get that right. He needs to get that fixed. The offense needs to get fixed. They need to make some adjustments to throw the teams off because they've already figured out the routes, the different things that people are doing it, and they're covering it very well.
Yeah,
so and he doesn't run.
Yeah, so we got 4 weeks left in the season, right? We got at Bills, home against the Packers on Christmas. And we got
tough game.
At Patriots, and then we close out the season at home against the Jets.
Yeah,
all of them are tough games, man. All of them are tough games.
Yeah, the division's on the line for the next month here. It's going to be on the line here, minus the Packer game. But
the playoffs are on the line because if it's the same old Dolphins, they're going to lose 3 or 4 and then be out by 1 game. So that's what we're
Stop with the negative. Stop with the negative. I'm carrying my Dolphin flag here. All right. You're starting to sound like Dennis.
I am too, but we got to look at it, dude. Those are tough games. Those are tough games.
They are.
Miami always does bad in December, man.
Stop.
They do.
I don't like old comparison of just because they sucked before doesn't mean you can't change.
Just because they've sucked the last 25 years doesn't mean anything. Okay.
Exactly. This is why I can't be a Dolphins fan and I can't have them on my fantasy team because I'm always going to think that they're going to make it happen.
This is 2022. Just because they've always started, maybe they started 8-1 and they ended up 8-8 or 9-7 for the last 25 years doesn't mean anything. Just because they're trending that way right now doesn't mean anything.
Look, man, I'll tell you what. I think this week, obviously, they'll have time to make more adjustments, but I think this is obviously the crucial week because it is your last matchup against the team that is ahead of you in the division with the Bills. You're going to be going up there. It's going to be the measuring stick game. This is like, hey, are the Dolphins legit? Are they supposed to be in Edwin's top 5? Find out later. Are they going to be in Edwin's top 5? Can they beat the Bills in the cold? Josh Allen, all these things that are happening. Can they do it? Will they do it? We'll find out. I think this is the measuring stick game. I hope my boy Mike McDaniel is taking notes, is doing his whole.
I hope he's watching the show. I hope he's watching the show.
Hope he should be watching the show. I sent him the link. He's got I need you to put it together this week and remind everybody why you are the man. All right, and why we are going to win this week, and why we're going to make some things happen.
The coolest coach in the league.
Something, man. Yeah, man. Definitely. Put on the Don Shula shades again.
Get in the lab.
Sit in your room. Yeah, man. Get in the lab. Figure out some of these surprises here, man. I feel like, man, like we're scratching the surface of what this team can do.
Make Tua watch the 700 play video thing that he made for him again, so he goes in with confidence.
Exactly. And we're 8-5 still, man. So again, I'm not going to be too upset about that. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. I like it.
All right, let's see here.
This coquito is delicious, bro.
What?
Is that what you're drinking over there?
You're drinking coquito?
It's the season.
It's the season.
Up there, huh? Send some down here, man.
Hey,
bro, I'll have my brother deliver some to you.
Nice. Oh, is this guy drinking coquito too?
No, I drink water, man. I don't really like coquito. Not a fan. Not a fan. I don't know.
Come on, but Christmas.
He's a Grinch.
I'm a Grinch. No, for sure, I'm a Grinch.
But
hey, speaking of the season, I was reading this thing, and I was something happened to me, and I was like, man, I wonder if like this is a first world problem. I felt
it definitely is.
And I was like, all right. So then I was like, man, first world problem. That's such a funny thing. And I started looking, and I found a study that said the top 50 first world problems, and I was surprised at number one because it was first world problems, and I thought like, wow, okay, the number one, and this was according to a study done back in like 2015, though. It's a little old, but having a runny nose is considered to be the biggest first world problem. New research has revealed. A runny nose.
Somebody wasted their time researching this.
Yeah, I mean, man, that's a big problem because then you got to go catch it.
Exactly. Runny nose, no run game on the Dolphins. Like,
I hope the government didn't fund that research, dude. I hope the government didn't fund that research. Jesus.
But it got me thinking, though. I was like, man, how can we, I suffer from first world problems a lot, and I'll be the first one to admit it. So I was thinking, I was like, what could be? How can I fix some things, or what are the most annoying? So I came up with the top 5 most annoying first world problems.
All right,
for me, okay. But I'm gonna keep you hanging for a little bit. I just wanted to tease it now because first I want to do my top 5 and my bottom 5 NFL. But I just want to let you know a little nugget is laying around there in the background, and we'll talk about it. So here we go. All right, got to revisit. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm having some connection. I got a lag there all of a sudden. All right,
First world problem.
So first world problem. There you go. Computer lag. Hold on a second. Here we go. All right, so let's revisit my last top 5, bottom 5. All right, we're gonna start with the bottom. My last one, let me see, where's my notes here? My last one, I had the Packers at 28, Bears, Broncos, Raiders, and Texans. And if you recall, that was before the Broncos and Raiders had their big head-to-head battle to see who the toilet bowl, who was going to be the worst team in the NFL. The Raiders won that game and have gone on a nice little streak here. They're up to like 5 wins on the season right now. Not bad. So that was my bottom 5. And now with that new information and that new stuff in mind here, let me give you my bottom 5. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
NFL Stradamus.
I did miss that. I hadn't had enough of that little my intro in a while. I should make that my ringtone. Anyway, all right. Number this week's bottom 5. Oh, and then I'll give you the top one after. All right, let's go with the bottom 5 here this week. I gotta give props to a team that was last time. The team I had at 32 was the Texans at 1-7-1. I'm bumping them up, baby. They're at 28. They're almost out of the bottom 5. They played the Cowboys really hard this week.
Oh, yeah.
Very surprising because I can't name anybody on that team. I don't even know who the quarterback is. Is it Wills, Mills, Lane? I don't know who it is. If you can name me the Texans quarterback, good for you. I don't even know.
Kevin's gonna type it. Kevin's gonna type it.
Kevin,
in a second.
if you're still paying attention, if you're still there watching, who is the Texans quarterback? I have no idea. But the Texans are 1-11-1. They played the Cowboys pretty hard. I got to give props. You know what? You're on the cusp. You're
Participation trophy. Good.
Yeah,
All right, good for them.
Props for them. All right. Next up, the Bears, 3-10.
The
God,
Bears.
if you lived in Chicago, just go root for the Packers. Go find another team, bro.
The
Even
Bears.
the Packers are bad, but the Bears, ugh. Packers, what is it? The Packers. The Lions are doing really well. Saw that? Lions are
they just
really
beat
well.
the Vikings.
Beat the Vikings, So
phony Vikings.
Oh, here's Kevin. He says Davis Mills. Oh, Davis Mills.
I think it's David.
Look at
pretty sure that's a typo. David Mills, no?
He probably copied and pasted. I don't know. Davis Mills, David Mills.
I knew he would come.
I don't know who any of those two guys are. And he said easy, and that he was typing that as Chavi was saying that I would type it.
Of course.
So, yeah, man. So just Bears. Ugh. Number 30, I got the Cardinals. Yes, Cardinals, 4-9. That's such a bad team.
Nope, Davis.
It's Davis. Look at that.
It is Davis.
Gus, you've been schooled, bro. The guy has a trombone, okay? Respect. Pay attention. All right, let me see here. Next up, I got the Cardinals, man. They lost to the Patriots on Monday Night Football. They lost Kyler Murray for the rest of the season. You had the whole debacle of Call of Duty. You had everything. Your best receiver didn't play for the first 6 weeks because of suspension.
Yeah.
You had everything going wrong. And last year you were the darling. You were the team that everybody's like, oh, the up and come up team. No, now you're on the bottom 5 and you're in purgatory now. 30th, 4-9. Wow. Suck it, Cardinals. I hate those uniforms and I hate that toddler playing quarterback. I'm not a Kyler Murray fan. Just weird.
Wow.
Yeah, I took a shot at his physical appearance. So what? Colts 4-8-1 at 31. It just, hi, bro. Like the Jeff Saturday Sunday story was nice for like a week.
Yeah,
and that's it. Then they got rocked, and yeah, there's just nothing there. Like Colts, like really, like if you were a sports fan in Indiana right now, in Indianapolis, like what are you gonna talk about? Like, hey, let's do a podcast to talk about how bad the Colts are and the Pacers. You know, like, ugh, bruh. I'd get into anime or something if I was them.
First world problems.
First world problems right there. Having no sports teams to root for. Number 32, the Broncos, easily the worst team. So much hype, so much excitement. Russell Wilson, complete, utter permaphony right now. 3-10. You can't do anything right. Blowing money. Your teammates don't like you. Nobody likes you. Sierra doesn't like you. Everybody hates you. Like, get out of here. You know, 1 step, 2 step out. Get out of here. Broncos.
Wow, you
trash.
brought it.
3-10.
You brought it. You got emotional with this one.
I'm feeling it. It's this late in the season.
This has been pent up for this time that we haven't been on.
I like the Sierra 1-2 step reference.
You like that, huh?
I do like that.
There you go. Good.
Not everybody.
You
Give myself a point for that one.
There you go. You got my goodies.
There you go. My goodies. You know. Good job. All right. All right. Enough with the bottom 5. I'm tired of talking about losers. Let's talk about winners. All right. Top 5. Let's revisit my last top 5. Okay. My last top 5 had the Chiefs at number 1. They were 7-2 at the time. Okay. I had the Finns at 7-3. coming off the win against the Browns 39-17. I had them at 2. I had the Vikings at 3. They were 8-1 at the time. The Giants 7-2. Niners. I had the Niners at 5-4 weeks ago in my top 5. Okay.
Nostradamus.
There you go.
NFL Stradamus.
So with that in mind, that was my top 5.
That has changed. That has changed greatly.
That has a lot. We got some changes. We got some shakeups here. Okay, so let's go. Top 5 as of right now. Okay. Oi. As of right now, my number 5 team is, and they were not in my top 5 before.
Ooh.
I got the Bills at 10-3. Okay.
Oh,
they beat the Jets 20-12, but I'm gonna give them props because how we've lost the last couple of 2 games and we're losing ugly. They're winning ugly. So I'm gonna give you props. You're ahead of us in the division.
Baby. Just win, baby.
We're better than you. We're still better than them, but this week is the measuring stick. But because of that, I'm gonna put the Bills in there at 5. I think 10-3. You got a lot to be proud of, but you know.
I want to see who the other guys are.
Number 4. This was hard for me. This one's hard for me because I still think they're phonies, but they beat a team that I used to have in my top 5, and they're winning pretty good. The Eagles. I don't like the Eagles, but 12-1 is hard to ignore.
You still think they're phonies after what they've been doing? I
still think they're phonies. I'm not on Jalen Hurts bandwagon. Devontae Smith is a college receiver. AJ Brown is great. I don't like Philadelphia. I can't, man. I'm sorry, Philly.
You don't like the Rocky movies, the series, none of that stuff.
Bro. You know what, man? Rocky was cool. The Eagles are not. Oh, man. But there's something in the water in Philadelphia. They're 12-1. I can't ignore it. 48-12. Was it? No, 48-22. They beat the Giants, which I thought the Giants, they're obviously on a skid. But a few weeks ago, they were playing really well. And it's just the Eagles are beating the teams they have to, but 12-1, it's just hard to ignore. But still, as good as it is, 12-1, putting him at 4. F that.
Yeah. If he dies, he dies.
Exactly.
No, you got it.
All right, number 3, new team in my top 5 also.
Ooh.
Number 3, I got the Bengals, baby. 9-4, beat the Browns. The Battle of Ohio, 23-10. That's that dirtball Deshaun Watson over there massaging his leg and stuff in the middle of a game. Yeah, that went over well.
Tank for Burrow.
Man. Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, with no T. Higgins, no Tyler Boyd. He's still just slinging it up. And the quarterback of my fantasy team. No excuses. Going out there, slinging that ball, putting up points. Joe Burrow having a monster season.
He's all swag. That's great. I love that guy. I gotta pull up the stats on Joe Burrow. He's on my fantasy team. Maybe it's so easy to pull up on my phone here. But he's just having a phenomenal season, putting up the numbers. Let's see here. Let me give you a little rundown on Joe Burrow. Let's see. This season so far, Joe Burrow is let's look and see. This is the stuff you guys wanted. Here we go. How do I see? Oh, God damn it. I am the worst at this. This is the segment we all love.
Edwin the internet.
Edwin uses the internet. How do I see your stats for the season?
First world problem.
First world problems. I don't know how to use an ESPN app. Forget it. Done with it.
Come back to
Bengals, number 3, 9-4. They're awesome. Oh my God. We have
Oh,
here. Yeah.
All right.
What's up, bro?
what this show has been missing.
Yes. Finally. Are you here to bash my top 5 in my NFL Stradamus, or are you still giving me my respect as a credible NFL source?
I always say that you are the most credible of NFL sources, but my
Absolutely.
only job on the show is to just say bad things about you at all times.
Makes the show better. Makes the show better.
You gotta have balance.
Yes. And you're doing a great job. Great job. I miss you. It's good to see your pretty face there. Let's So what do you think about my Bengals at number 3? How do you feel about the Bengals, Achilles?
Joe Cool is good, bro. Like they have weird stinkers, but then they smack the Chiefs every time they play him. So you know,
I like
he
that.
He owns them.
That's real.
9-4, 9-4, and they started off 0-2.
Yeah.
Remember, they started off the season 0-2, so they've gone 9-2 since the 0-2 start, right? 9-4. Is that what the record that I said? Yeah, 9-4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
although we seem to forget something.
What's that?
About Joe Burrow?
What's that?
It's that he bites my style, bro.
That's right.
¿Cómo?
Joe Burrow has he at night. You know when like your parents or like older people go on Facebook in the middle of the night and they just start liking pictures and you're like, why are they doing that? Because they just start doing a deep dive in like your personal stuff. And you're like, what? That's what Joe Burrow does to Gus's Facebook page. He starts looking through his old pictures and he's like, wow, he wore that jacket when 2011. I'm gonna go buy it on eBay right now. And he pulls it off.
What it was, I wish I had the
Flip
picture
of shades
right now. He's got a Nike chain.
The Nike chain
that he wore right after or right before his Super Bowl appearance. And I was looking back at some pictures of myself in middle school, and I'm rocking the same Nike chain. It's just a fucking Nike pendant that I used to wear.
Vintage.
And I'm like, bro, everybody thinks this guy's cool. I was doing it before the 2000s, back in the 90s.
But can you beat Mahomes? You can't beat Mahomes.
Oh,
I'll beat him at something. It doesn't have to be football.
Well, he beats him. He beats the Chiefs. So, all right. You guys ready for my top 2?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Wait. Where's my...
Uh-oh.
Number 2. And I said this in my last top 5. The Niners, baby. I had them in my top 5 at 5-4.
You did.
I was the one calling it, and here they are. They lose Garoppolo. Somehow they gain a Brady. And, man, 9-4. Beat the Bucs easy, 35-7. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They're scary. They beat the Dolphins.
Bro. That's ridiculous. With Mr. Irrelevant.
Dude, that's not even fair.
This is a great story.
Oh, yeah.
This is a great story.
Yeah, man.
It's an amazing story.
I'm going to throw one little caution here, which is they lost Deebo Samuel for like a little bit. So
that's big loss.
My fantasy team resurgence is now officially done. I was going to finish second to last instead of last, but now it's over.
Oh, man.
That's what's up. So it's no, I'm not hiding anything there. If you do the math there and I got one team left, you know who it is. I'm still riding the Chiefs, baby. Chiefs are still just solid.
No, as long as they don't play the Bengals.
As long as they don't play the Bengals. They're 10-3, beat the Broncos, easy. Another crazy Mahomes touchdown pass where he's no looking, dumping it this way. No big deal. Just another day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He went back.
Who had the better no look pass, Mahomes or Messi?
Ooh.
Oh, you got it. No, Messi.
It's got to be Messi.
It's got to be Messi because he did it with his feet.
Yeah.
Not even that. Like
the whole
Messi's
play.
pass,
The whole play.
Messi's pass was not looking one step ahead or two steps ahead. It was like 7. He was essentially just Doctor Strange, saw all the possibilities, and somehow like,
yeah. I think the Messi pass, you can't do that in FIFA because FIFA's like you can't. Like it's
impossible.
Not a playable pass. And I feel like I've done that pass with Mahomes when you're just kind of running and you hit the button and it just shoots out like a little glitch,
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen in FIFA, but it happens in Madden.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to him.
that's
my top 5.
I saw like a freeze frame of one of those passes, and it literally looked like he was just fumbling.
Yeah.
Like just the way the whole play, like
I love it. All right, so that's my top 5, bottom 5.
Thank you.
It's a wrap.
Right.
That was amazing.
About
the
it.
Best underground NFL guy. Period.
Yeah, that's it.
NFL Stradamus.
Yeah.
You made intro music for yourself.
Yeah, man, you've been missing, bro. You've been missing.
Bro.
I don't know what's up, bro.
Edwin's Kevin Durant. He's
on,
Kevin Durant. He gives himself his own nickname.
Yeah.
And his own burner account.
Well,
He has
Oh yeah.
I have a burner account. But wait, did I give myself this nickname, or I thought somebody gave it to me? Might have been me.
NFL Stradamus?
Yeah.
You gave yourself that name.
That was me? Okay.
But at least you earned it over time.
NFL Stradamus.
We can't deny the name.
You need to
That's right,
copyright and trademark that, man, before somebody takes it.
Yeah, well, I can show that I've been using it for a while. Also, so I was teasing about it. I made a top 5 list of first world problems. Man, I'm getting a really bad delay and echo, but anyway, I'm gonna power through this for you guys. All right.
That's a first world problem right there. Let's start with that one.
Exactly. That's where it started. Achilles, I don't know if you heard, but there was a study done, and the number 1 first world problem is having a runny nose is considered to be the biggest first world problem new research has revealed. What do you think about that?
But everyone has a runny nose. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's
for it to be. I understand what you're saying. Like it's like for it to be a problem.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my nose is running. Gotcha. Okay.
Exactly. So.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, all right, and I was like, man, things that bother me, and I was like, these are first world problems. So here's my top 5. All right, number 5. When you order nachos and they put too many toppings and you can't get to the chips, that's a big problem, right?
Mm-hmm. They don't layer it.
They don't layer it right. There's a ratio to this.
Yeah, that's the only problem with like Flanny's nachos.
Yeah.
Other than that, all the toppings are great. Everything's great. They give you 47 pounds of chips for like $2, but everything's on top, and you have to it's like playing Jenga, and you're trying to
it is.
It's a struggle. It's a big, big struggle.
Nacho Jenga.
I have a problem with that.
Nacho Jenga. Man. I love it.
So that was my number 5. Here's my number 4. Okay.
All right.
If you guys are guilty of this, you're all going to hell. But it's people who drive new cars that hold their phones while they're driving like this and are talking on speaker or have AirPods on. Why? It's called Bluetooth. It's called Bluetooth.
Listen, I used to have a cool classic car, and the aux broke, so I had one AirPod in.
Cool. Before I got my car.
But eventually I did get the radio.
I'm talking about like.
Like the person that's like on FaceTime but not looking at the person and yelling.
Oh, that was my number 6. That was my number 6, which is just you're just walking through the store on a FaceTime. Like, what are you doing, dude? Get out of here.
How do you come up with this? How do you come up with it? But this seems like a David Letterman list. It's genius.
I'm telling you, but. The number
just all things he does on a daily basis.
Well, these are my observations, Do
you have a YouTube channel, personal YouTube channel?
No, but I did order nachos today, and that was my problem. And while I was driving to pick up the nachos, I see the lady on the phone with the AirPods and holding the phone and driving in her brand new Beamer SUV, and I'm like,
lovely.
I know it's got Bluetooth. Get out of here.
And then it gave him a runny nose.
Yeah, man. All right.
What's the next one?
Number 3 is, let me see. Oh, this one was, I outsourced this one.
Okay.
And a classic, Cindy the intern, she said, and this is a good one, when the app doesn't work and you have to use the browser. You know what I'm talking about?
Or reverse mode, when you just want to use it on your browser because you're already there.
Yeah.
And you're trying to open up the app.
Yeah. It goes both ways. Both ways. But you know what I'm saying? You're trying to make a purchase and it says, and you do you select everything, and then it says to complete this, you got to use the app, and then you go to the app and your shopping cart's empty. and it's just the whole hassle, and then you don't want to buy anything. Just done with it.
That's a problem.
That was my number 3. All right, number 2. Sorry, I can't. I need glasses, bro.
Classic.
First world problem.
There you go.
LASIK.
Oh, here we go. Number 2. I know somebody here feels this one with me. All right. It's when you get home after ordering food in the drive-thru and you realize they got your order wrong.
That's why you check it before you leave the window, bro.
Yeah, that's your fault.
Problem.
Some of us are dumb and lazy, and we forget to do it every time.
That's your fault. That's your fault.
Yeah, 100%.
Guilty.
It's happened to me
Guilty
several
all the
times.
time.
It's happened to me several times.
You know, and the funny thing is, it'll happen to me, and I'll be like, "Damn it! Next time it won't happen." And next time they'll give it to me, and I look, I'm like, "It's good," and I put it there, and then that's the last time I check. The next time I'm like, "Hey, thanks, man." Just put it here. You drive like a half hour, you get home, you know, you're like, "Hey, trash." So I feel like you guys, Achilles, I think him and I have had this talk before.
For sure.
We're notorious at this.
Oh, no. And the worst is when you go and pick up food for like a bunch of other people. It's like, we're having quick family dinner, so I'm gonna drive through pollo for everyone.
Yeah.
Put in the order, missing half the food. Now 7 people
Where's
are hungry.
my troppy chop with the sliced onions and the churrasco? Like what? Yeah. You didn't get my madoodles? Yeah, that's the worst, man. All right, number 1. And a perfect segue to our next topic. It's having the largest population, the most resources, all the best things, and still being bad at soccer. That's that's where we are, bro. USA, man. Good grief.
USA.
So, Achilles, you joined us just in time for our soccer part of the show.
Soccer talk?
Soccer talk, you know. Vice City FC. That's what it is, right?
Sure.
Is that what it is? Yeah, right? That's
what
we call it.
That's what we call it. Memory loss. First
world problems.
Oh, for real.
It's all those nachos. Those nachos.
Yeah.
My eyes are bad now, man. I can't read the laptop that's next to me. I have to like blow up everything. I'm that old guy now. My eyes.
No.
2022, my eyes said, and they dipped on me, bro.
Oh.
You got COVID eyes, bro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Telling you, bro.
You have Fauci eyes. Fauci eyes.
Yeah, it's been tough. But anyway, all right. So the U.S. last time we had a show was before the World Cup. Here we are. It's been a few weeks. We just had a semifinal today. Another one tomorrow. So we can encompass a lot here briefly before we wrap. But USA, you know, first game Wales. You had the moment. Achilles and I watched the game together. It was fun. You had the one little mental lapse with was it Zimmerman or was it Reed?
Yeah.
Zimmerman,
no,
right?
Zimmerman just absolutely scissor kicking the shit out of that guy for no reason.
Thor,
you know,
center back Thor laid down the hammer.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Just laid it down. Thought he was Tony Stark, you know, just messed it up for us. You had that going, 1-1 draw, then we 0-0 draw England, which I thought was our best game. Like we had a strategy, we had a game plan. We couldn't, you know, convert in the final third and in the get the goals, but I thought overall that was our best. And then you had the game against Iran, and then the flame out against the Netherlands. So we talked about it at the beginning about Greg Berhalter, but I kind of want to know what Achilles feels about this whole Greg situation and the Gio Reyna thing.
What do you take a guess where I stand on that?
Here you go.
I've been trying to fire this guy since we were beating Mexico 7 times in 1 year, bro. It's a joke. He's terrible.
Why is he terrible?
Because he's not a good man manager, which he's shown many times. He doesn't know how to make subs. He doesn't know how to put anyone anywhere, and he pisses off all the players. And he's garbage tactically. He can make no changes. If we're not dominating the midfield, the team is useless, and he does not know how to switch anything. We can do different. The one time he did change more formation against England, and that was a good match. He did once.
Yeah.
The guy is not good at any aspect of coaching. He just has the most talented team in the history of our country, and these poor kids have to go out there and figure it out by themselves because their coach is useless.
Yeah, there was that one moment. Was it Brendan Aronson who was coming into the game, and you could read his lips, and he's like, "What? Like, what do you want me to do?" Like he didn't even understand what he's telling him, and he was right there. Like it was just bad.
But, honestly, the only reason that you are okay against England is because Gareth Southgate is just Greg Berhalter with a beard. The guy has all the attacking talent on the planet. And that team is just like all over the places. You just have, Saka was out there making things happen. That's every goal for England in the World Cup.
Hey, that kid is good, man. Saka awesome. Impressed. Like I was I was really taken away. And I hate that he's a gunner, but he's damn good, man. Mm-hmm. I thought I had a discussion at work about this, and I want to know what you guys think. All right, so let's go to the England game against France. I thought England way better than France from start to finish. They were the better team. I thought they played the more organized game, the better attacking game. Mm-hmm. I thought they neutralized Mbappe as best as they could. But again, like Achilles texted me, a proper legend like Giroud, who doesn't get the respect and the love that he should get, comes through at the end.
Guy's amazing, man.
Achilles, are you there?
Yeah, he's
there. I think he's frozen.
Oh, he's frozen. Right when I was giving him props. Right as I give him props.
He'll never believe it happened.
First world
problems. When your podcast stream gets frozen. First world problems.
He's back. He's back.
Look at that good looking guy.
All right. Oh,
sorry.
Man.
All right. So did you hear what I said?
I got you were starting to say like, oh, England's so good, blah blah.
No, okay.
Blah,
all right.
blah.
You didn't hear any of the good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Let me set the mood for you here. So, is he gone again?
No, yes. He's right there.
He's frozen.
Look at that.
He looks like the guy
music.
from Harry Potter. He looks like the guy from Harry Potter. What's his name?
Hagrid.
Look at that guy. Oh, man. Take a snapshot.
That is what this show has been missing.
All right. So,
whatever.
That first world problem, I present the question to you two that are with reliable internet. In that game, like I said, I thought England played better. They neutralized Mbappe. You had Giroud, who made his great play. But you had 2 penalty kicks for England. They made one. They missed the second.
Yes, sir.
And when he was going up to take the second kick, I thought to myself, and I was watching the game with Cindy, and I was telling her, I was like, you know what? That's hard to make a World Cup penalty kick. And now this guy's going up to do it again, Mm-hmm. And I wondered if that was something that goes through the head of the coach. Like, what would you do? I feel like you're asking a guy to convert 2 penalties is incredibly difficult. I don't know. And I never really thought about it, but I feel like if it was like any league game or a regular season game, let your best guy go up there and kick it twice. But is there something to be said for the pressure of a World Cup elimination game that maybe you should consider letting somebody else take a second kick? Or do you just run it with your best guy there no matter what?
The thing is that, you every team has that one guy that's got ice running through his veins, but even those guys sometimes miss, or get their shots blocked, Even Messi got his PK blocked in the group stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But then he went back and he's made I think he's taken 2 or 3 since then, and he's made them all.
Well, today's was beautiful. That was a rocket.
Oh. Yeah, bro. I don't understand why every penalty is not a rocket. What? I don't understand when guys just walk up and try to do a little bloop. Man.
Hey,
I mean, it works sometimes.
Hey, Hakimi with the Panenka to win it. That was
bro.
Cold-blooded.
Brass balls, bro. Brass balls.
Ice veins.
But seriously, I don't. Rocket, bro. Every time.
Yeah, but Kane rockets it to out of
that's
Qatar
the problem with the rocket,
is
that you have to be perfect. Where with
the
other kind, there's some leeway that doesn't matter, bro.
It does matter.
It obviously doesn't, because everyone, no matter how good they are, does that.
Yeah, and I guess it has something to do with the moment and being
of course
nervous. You're not in control of your fucking bodily functions.
Remember the history of England and penalties, where at Euros they were a nightmare and they couldn't find anyone, and there was 7,000 different kids, and no one could score a penalty to save their life. And Harry Kane is like statistically one of the greatest to ever do it. Period. So,
Hey, what
Oh
happened?
man, what are you focusing on me for? I'm not
Sorry.
Yeah, man, and it's unfortunate for them because, like how Edwin said, bro, they played a much better game than France, and
France was good. They were just so. I've never seen a more undisciplined team in my life. They were just flying in tackles.
Yeah.
All 11 players, including Lloris, were just out there reckless, bro. It was unbelievable.
I love it.
Do you think they are overconfident? Because that France team is amazing.
Look, they got no Pogba, no Conte, no Benzema,
no problem.
A few other players, no
problem.
Seriously,
Griezmann's playing better than I've ever seen him play in his entire life, dude. Like,
he is. He's having a great tournament.
Yeah, he is.
What is it, Chomiani or whatever? Like, Pogba's out, and then there's just another exact, maybe better version of him that's just like
better defensively. Yeah,
bro. It's like the team is ridiculous.
It is
super deep. That was England's shot, I think, for a while to bring it home. They have a solid team. They were playing really, really well. It's just that moment they couldn't grasp the moment. And obviously the moment he kicked that ball over, mentally, emotionally, it took a toll on the players. Then you have Mbappe.
Harry Kane
kicks it in.
Harry Kane is great, but he's like Eli Manning great. He's a mouth breather. You know what I mean?
He has the face.
I
texted you guys when
that is amazing.
They played that interview of him, and I heard him speak. And I guess we really don't hear these guys talk much.
Yeah.
But he was talking, and I was like, dude, I didn't know Andrew Luck was British. He's another Andrew Luck. He's got the mush mouth.
Yeah.
I thought it was bloody hell. Like, I was like so surprised, dude. I mean, sorry,
really
England.
Good. That was a really good accent. Your accent work is so much better. It's a little less racist.
Oh Lord.
I was just blown away by that. And but Harry Kane's gonna have to do something he's never done before, and it's deal with that. You know what I mean? And everybody, an entire nation, is looking at him like, dude, you shanked it, and bad. Like, it wasn't even close. One thing is if it got blocked, but
yes,
that's the risk. Like Achilles was saying, when you blast it in there. But I don't know. Achilles, would you have let him kick the second penalty kick, or that's what I was saying. When you have to look at that team's specific history, where they had such a problem with that exact thing, where they're putting different people and no one can just do it. So he hit the first one. So you're like, hey, we're here. But just and it was weird because he got up there and he stirred the ball, and then he went back and adjusted it, and then he came back, and it felt like an eternity that he was just standing there looking. I was like, oh no, he's in his own head. Game over.
Don't you get that feeling when it happens? Like, even when Rodrigo was gonna kick it, they put the camera on his face.
Oh, you can tell.
And you see the eyes, and you see the expression, and I was like, oh, he's scared shitless.
I've never
He's
seen
scared
someone,
shitless.
Yeah, I've never seen someone set up and go and adjust the ball. I've never, ever, in my millions of years of watching soccer and working in soccer at every level, I have never seen that before. When he went into it, I was like, wait, that's not right. This is not good.
Just bad.
Hey, and know what? Sometimes you run into Olivier Giroud, bro, and there's nothing you can do. That's it.
Like, I
the
said
buzzsaw that is Olivier Giroud.
I said this before while you were getting cut off, which is you texted me a proper fucking legend, dude, like Giroud getting his moment finally.
The guy's only scored goals everywhere he's ever been, and for whatever reason, people are like, "Oh, he's fine." I don't know.
You know why? Because he's not like super athletic, fast guy. That's the only reason.
Yeah, but he's handsome, and that makes up for it.
Yeah, exactly. He should at least get the fucking David Beckham treatment, right?
You know what I mean?
At the very least, bro.
But
give him one of the Spice Girls. Give him the Red Bull manager's wife. God damn it.
He has a great story
Ginger.
too. There's a great story to him.
Oh, he is. He has a great. I mean, I got to appreciate him with Chelsea, but I'll be honest, when we first got him, I was like, wasn't too thrilled, but then when he left, I was like, oh man, like this guy was legit.
Yeah.
All he did was score in finals, in cup games, and big goals and run-ups, everything, man.
When he was playing second division in France at 21 years old, he was playing with the coach from Morocco. They were on the same team. But when he was playing there, they sold him to a third division team, and because the coach said, hey, you're not good enough. So they sold him to a third division team. Then he came back up, and at 24, he debuted in first division. At 25 is when he was started with the French national team. So this guy has a whole backstory of people saying, hey, you suck. Because he's this big kind of doofy guy that is not larger than life. He doesn't just pop out to you, but all he does is score. Last World Cup, they made fun of him, right? Because he didn't score.
He scored 0 goals in the last World Cup.
0 goals.
He might win
and I don't think he took a shot.
Ball, dude.
And I don't think he took a shot.
He had 0 goals as the starting striker for the team that won the World Cup.
He became a meme.
Doesn't make sense.
He became a meme, and now look at 4 years later what sport does. The opportunity that gives you, it's amazing.
But this is what I thought of 4 years ago, which is the same thing, which is why I appreciated him at Chelsea, because I got to see it firsthand. He's not going to score goals, but he does everything else.
Yeah,
so
he'll
well.
do other things too. Yeah,
He does. He's off the ball. He plays the false 9. He knows how to draw guys out. He knows how to poach. He knows how to pass. He does all these little things. I don't need him to just dribble.
He's
score.
dependable.
He does.
A coach is dependable player. He does what he needs him to do to win the game.
Yeah, very, very good.
And he has a very nice haircut.
Solid good looks. Solid good looks. Which, by the way, Achilles,
next time I go to a barber,
his beard is looking good.
Your beard is nice, bro. I'm feeling it. Look, we're rubbing off on Chavi over here.
I tried. I just try to grow a little bit. This is temporary.
It's in honor of the goat. It's in honor of Messi. He grew a goat in honor of Messi.
There you go. Keep it going, bro. It looks good.
I'm going for Argentina. It's very difficult, because I'm not a big Argentina fan. Yeah. But we're all Argentina right now. South America, we got to get one.
We got to bring it back. Bring it back. I
am a big Messi. I'm a big Messi fan because we're I love greatness, and he's playing great, and the guy's a cool guy, man. He's a good guy, good dude, family guy, doesn't talk crap, isn't having a bad World Cup like
give me that. Give me the
phone. Literally talk crap to a man who is fighting prostate cancer.
Who's that? Van Gaal?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that fuck Van Gaal, man.
But that goes back to the players, the Argentinian players that play for him. Like they really said he treated them like shit, and he's like, I'm not gonna say borderline racist. They're saying like he's that's racist.
I'm gonna be racist. I don't believe anything an Argentinian says. They're all just
It's tough. But I'll tell you what, man, the competitive nature of that team, the way they've been going, it's awesome. And then the game that they had today, the game they had today was fantastic. And if anybody can beat France, and I'm already saying France is gonna beat Morocco, I don't know that because this is the World Cup of surprises. If anybody can beat France, it's Argentina. So it's going to be great, man. But tomorrow's game is going to be awesome.
When Argentina and France met 4 years ago in Russia, that was a hell of a match, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That was a hell of a match. If you don't remember that.
A tale of two halves. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. I got a couple of things. One, Van Gaal looks like he's from Bikini Bottom in a SpongeBob episode. He looks like the fish. They're like the regular fish that are just like the people, customers that go eat at the Krusty Krab or whatever. Yeah, he looks like he's got that weird head, bro. Secondly, tomorrow's game. All right, you got France. Heavy favorites over Morocco, but the Morocco story is fantastic. They've given up one goal all World Cup, an own goal at that against Canada. They've eliminated Belgium. They beat Spain. They beat Cristiano Ronaldo in Portugal. And now you got to go against, no big deal. Just try to beat the defending champs.
So they're conquering Europe is what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely. They're the first African team to make it to a semifinal, and if they win, obviously it'll be the first ever to make it to a final.
First African team, first Arab team, also.
Yeah,
I don't mind if they win it too. I mean, it's like
that's what I'm saying.
I don't mind. That's an amazing story.
It is.
I just don't want Europe to win. I just don't want Europe to win again.
I'm with you. You. Another thing, I didn't feel too bad about England losing because, hello, Colombia 4 years ago, payback's a bitch. But
don't even start with Colombia. I don't even want to remember.
No, for sure. But tomorrow's game, look, man, we just named off those teams that they've beaten and they've eliminated and all this stuff. That's an impressive list, dude. And there's nothing to be ashamed of if you lose tomorrow. But I just, the Cinderella, eventually it hits midnight. I don't know if midnight is tomorrow, but
this is the Arabian Nights, buddy. This is larger than life. This is a never-ending story. You don't know what's gonna happen, man. This is the World Cup.
I won't be mad.
Of surprises.
This is Butler in the Final Four, baby.
I won't be mad either. But you know what? In that team, so many of those guys were born in Europe, and they're playing for Morocco.
French.
They don't speak Arabic. Some, like a lot of them, if you're reading, they don't. So there's translations. They're translating. They're talking to each other. It's an amazing story. It's awesome. Only something sports can do. Only something like the World Cup can do. This is great. This is fantastic. This has been a great World Cup. And look at all the things we talked about. That Qatar got it. All the negative stuff. There's 2 reporters that have died now. I mean, there's so many crazy things going on.
Is it 2 reporters?
There's
or
a second one
out. Photographer. So there's 3 people.
No.
There was a photographer.
Also, no, I don't. Maybe they said reporter and they counted and it was the photographer. I don't know. I have to go back and check that. But we know there's. Yeah, it's weird. It's been weird. Like we said, this is a weird World Cup. Everything about it has been weird, but it's been amazing and great in a weird kind of way. So I don't know what to say.
Which gets me excited for 3.5 years from now when we get to host it.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's gonna slap so
Sponer,
hard,
bro. Sponer City.
There's gonna be so many rainbow flags and alcohol everywhere. It's just gonna be fantastic.
Is Greg gonna be back?
No. He's officially.
Mourinho's gonna be the coach.
You know what, bro? They were gonna. Berhalter was. All he needed to do was not leak that information to keep his fucking job, bro.
Yeah.
Gio looks so much better than him with that statement they put out. They say, he didn't put it out, but his people.
Yeah, you got outclassed by a 20-year-old kid.
The statement was fantastic. I don't know what's going on, but if you as a grown man can't keep that in house and you can't control that, you have to go and ask everybody, in order to make a decision. That doesn't look good. What kind of manager? What kind of coach are you? You have to go. You have to go and ask everybody.
Day one. Since day one, the day he was hired.
But the problem is that he's gotten the results, and like you said, the greatest.
Like everyone's like, oh, they had the results. They finished 3rd in the hexagonal, below Canada.
No, we're talking about before on the way over here. He qualified them. They won.
That's fine, but like,
they went
people
this.
act
They won
like
that.
Listen, man. Like again,
no, he's not great. He's not great.
Even in the wins, I was telling people he's not good. I'm telling you, please believe me. If you watch the games, they're not organized.
Yeah. He should have never been hired. He should have never been hired.
Of course.
Nope. I'll give you an example that has stood out in my memory for so long. We're at Onside, right? We're getting ready to do our show, or we just finished it. And Team USA was having a practice or a game that day.
Yeah, they were practicing.
They're practicing at the stadium where we would do the show, and we're doing our promos after the game, after our show, and we're looking out the window, and I'm like, "Hey, is that the coach?" And the kid's like, "Yeah, that guy fucking sucks." So he was hating on them from back then. Like,
tell me how you feel.
Was hating on him. So
tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, that guy's garbage. No, or I think he also said he wears clown shoes, which is more appropriate, Achilles. But basically, he's the same same message. The words might have been different, but yeah, hasn't been a fan of the guy, and he's looking pretty even smarter than he is right now. So good job, Achilles. You've been carrying that.
He's not gone yet, so don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't put
that
anything
would be-
past U.S. soccer though.
Yeah.
Nothing I can put past those dummies.
Well, his
They
brother,
hired him in the first place.
his brother is like part of the
Hired him,
hiring.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
His brother
that's the
literally
only
hired
reason.
him.
Oh,
Yeah, that's trash, bro. But anyway, all right. Tomorrow, Morocco, France. Gus, who's winning?
bro, I'm gonna say Morocco.
You're okay.
Based on what?
you-
On a
what
gut
do you-
feeling?
Man, it's not that they've been getting lucky with these wins. They know what they're doing, bro.
Yeah.
Their coach, who was hired like 3 months before the freaking World Cup started.
So, here's a good one.
Oh.
The U.S. beat them 3-0. They fired their coach right after that game and hired this guy. So really,
yeah.
this is because of us. Great.
Nice.
And the
Why
first
can't
thing
we
that
have him
the
as
new
the coach, bro?
the first
Seriously.
thing the new coach did was bring back Ziyech, who had been cut
course.
or kicked off the team by the old coach, and
Mhm.
he's just
Kind
tearing it up right
kind
now.
of like Gio Reyna. And are you trying to make
Yeah, it's like a
Little
parallel
connection there.
Bizarro
you're making-
USA.
Everything right that the U.S. could have done, Morocco has done. We
everything the US
started
should
the
have
process
done, yeah.
for them by smoking them 3-0 back in the day.
Yeah, their
Look at
best
that.
player is a right wing, just like ours was Pulisic going into the cup, and
Are you saying that the players are more important than the coach? Is that what you're trying to say?
Dun, dun, dun.
As you can see with the U.S., anything they've accomplished is literally just because the 21-year-olds have to figure it out on the fly with their talent.
It's simple math. It's easier to get rid of 1 than 11. So
Yeah,
simple.
for sure. All right, so Gus, you're saying that Morocco's gonna win. All right, Xavier, Xavi, who's winning tomorrow?
Damn. You know, in my heart, I want my African brothers to win. But remember in our Vice City little thing we did where I mentioned 3 or 4 different matchups. One of them was Argentina France. And it might be able to happen. I mean, I mentioned Brazil, France, Brazil, Germany, Argentina, Germany.
Yeah,
Argentina,
you gave
France,
us every
option
not
not
except
every- not
Morocco.
every-
Yeah, I know.
Oh, nobody thought Morocco. Nobody thought
Stat
Morocco.
patter there.
I would love for Morocco. Honestly, it's just the story behind it. But I think that would make
so
it
who's
easier
gonna
for
win? Who's gonna win?
Well, let me flip a coin and see. I think honestly, based on what I've seen, I think that somehow this is Mbappe's tournament, and he's gonna, find a way to get in and score, and that makes Morocco open up and have to come look for the game, and then they're vulnerable. So I think France is gonna win.
France. That was a long-winded France. En France. Achilles.
Viva la
who's winning
France.
I'm gonna stick with Morocco, man. How about this?
Ooh.
I'm gonna just say Morocco, but
Mm.
if can score 2, I think they win. But if it
What?
stays 0-0, 1-1, Morocco's gonna take it.
So-
And I'm sticking,
Mor-
and I'm not playing both sides. I'm saying I'm firmly making my pick as Morocco.
okay.
Burkhalter, Morocco plays Burkhalter tactics.
No,
Throw everybody in the
Berhalter
back.
He wishes that the U.S. was as organized on defense as Morocco.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the difference.
It's a beautiful thing to watch Morocco play defense. They're not like a bad overmatched team that just plays 13 guys behind the ball.
No, and they're dangerous. They're dangerous.
No,
they're dangerous
man,
on the attack. They're dangerous on the attack.
No, but
They
the
have some
defense
talent
is
up there.
organized. Like all the guys are good at playing defense. They don't just we're packing it in. You know what I mean? And then, like you said, they have all these guys that if they hit a counter, Ziyech can hit a banger at any moment. You know what I mean?
And it's about time he's due.
Yeah.
I
But that's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
you guys
if
are-
it's 1-1, 0-0, and it ends up going to pens, Morocco's going to take it.
Oh yeah, I don't trust
they're gonna
Llorente at all.
Yeah, and they're going to have the crowd on their side, and it's just going to be they're just going to have all the momentum if that. But I think if they give up 2, I don't know if they're going to be able to.
Bro,
You're
I saw
right.
the reports. There's like a mass exodus of Moroccans that are leaving Morocco to go to Qatar just to try to get into.
No,
it.
dude,
they're
that's-
home,
that's-
they're home. They're
that's
home.
a home game.
Mhm.
That's a home game for them.
Part of all the thing in the Vice City that we talked about was that too. We talked about the African teams stepping up, being so close to home. This could be a cup for them. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's see. I would love it if they win it. I would love it. I would love to be wrong. It's just I'm going with the percentages. I think
Okay.
France is there.
I'm with you, Xavi. Look, my heart would love Morocco, but I'm thinking with my head, and it's France. It's just I can't see it not being France realistically here, and there's no shot to Morocco. But if it happens, I'm not going to complain. Give me a good game tomorrow. Give me a good game tomorrow. Now the last question I have about this, so we could wrap up, is we got Argentina in the final.
Yeah,
is 2 finals appearances for Messi enough, or does he have to win?
Oh, he has to win.
He has to win, right?
Enough for what? Enough for him to be considered the GOAT?
Because look, you had these 2 guys running their whole careers together, and the last chance that you had to really separate them, Messi's taking the lead right now by outlasting this guy and having the better tournament. Ronaldo's in a shit show right now. And
here's my answer. So if you want to call Messi the GOAT ahead of Pelé, ahead of Maradona, all those guys, he has to win. But he's already beaten Ronaldo. That's it. Okay. That conversation is over.
I'll give you that.
But if he wants to be considered the greatest of all time amongst all the greats, then he should win the tournament.
Okay. Achilles.
No. 8 teams. They've been playing the World Cup since 1930, and 8 teams have won it. Uruguay twice at the beginning, bro. Like it's almost impossible to win this tournament. It's not like a regular, championship or whatever where you're just, you know what I mean? Like it's so much more difficult, and anything can happen. That to me, like I watch it. I've seen him play. To me, he's better than anyone. He does everything well, better than everyone else. And that's it. But I'm like that for all sports and all players. Like I don't care. You play team sports. That doesn't mean anything to me. If I watch you play and you do have all the stats and all the other stuff of only what you can control, then okay, you're good enough to me.
Yeah. In Argentina, they love to make those songs. The fans, the chanting, the jumping up and down. They're amazing. Yeah. The best fans in sports. I promise you that if Messi doesn't win, those songs are not going to be very happy songs about Messi. He has to win.
About how those
his legacy, everything. They called him Pecho Frio before. Now he's the man. He's having the tournament of his life. It's a dream tournament. He's playing like he's never played before. He's calling people Bobo. Give me that Bobo. He's actually talking, and he has to finish it. It's like, you're swimming, you get to the edge and you drown because you're tired. No, he has to win this tournament. He has to win it. He has to win it. Anything less.
Yeah, at this point, that's the problem with getting this far. You know what I mean? It's disappointment or championship. I agree with what Achilles was saying. First world problem.
Because you're Messi.
I agree with what Achilles was saying. I agree with what Achilles was saying in the sense that, like, look, he's proven enough to me. But
of course,
the problem, and Gus knows this because Gus, I know, has been a big Messi guy, obviously with this love for Barcelona. I've never had a horse in that race. I've always been objective, outsider perspective. If I'm hanging out with Gus and like my boy Pablo and they're Barcelona fans, I'll put on a Barcelona jersey. Hey, rah, rah, rah. Ooh. If I'm hanging out with my friends that are Madrid fans, I'll put on the Madrid jersey that I have. And, hey,
well, you're a front runner? I don't believe you, bro.
No,
you cannot do that.
Like that.
Hold on.
You cannot do that.
I don't have a horse in this race.
I know who my phony will be next week.
Xavi's going to call you Anna Phony.
But look, Gus knows I'm not a Barcelona fan and I'm not a Madrid fan. I'm a Chelsea guy. So I go in and I support my friends. If my friends are watching a game and that's their team, I'll cheer with you. Gus has been a great friend to me, and he's gone to watch Chelsea win a Champions League game with me, and he's put on a Chelsea jersey, and he's cheered for Chelsea, even though he's a Barcelona guy.
So that's how I look at it. You guys are all a bunch of phonies. The only true legit guy right here is Achilles. He only wears Inter Miami CF gear.
No, he's a Valencia guy. He's a Valencia guy.
Little did you know. But I've never had a horse in this race, but I've always stood up for both. I've always been like, when Gus goes on his thing where he's like, no, Messi's the greatest ever because he did this, I'm always quick to say, but look, Ronaldo, this, and this, and I'll stick up for that guy because to me, objectively, we've had two of the greatest of all times having their careers side by side, and I just sat back and enjoyed it. But right now,
think about this, bro. Think about if one of these guys didn't exist, how much more accolades the other guy would have.
Oh, yeah.
It's
how much more
mind-blowing,
accolades
bro.
and how clear-cut the conversation would be greatest of all times over anybody prior, you know? But with that being said, I've always defended both, but right now, there's no problem with being a 1A or 1B, you know? And but right now, Messi, he's shown that he's still competitive. He still makes people great around him. He can still carry a team. He can still do all these things. And unfortunately for Ronaldo, this has been a PR nightmare this whole year for him. You know, the fallout in Manchester, the prop getting benched at the World Cup in your last World Cup. It sucks. And I feel for the guy because look, man, I know you're saying, I know Achilles, what you're going to say. You don't feel bad because he brought on himself and whatever. But I'm talking about as the type of player. He's the first one in the gym and the last one out every day. He has a level of expectation that he displays himself and that he wants his teammates to carry. And unfortunately in Manchester, it wasn't happening. And in Portugal, it was rubbing people the wrong way. And it's not because he's a bad teammate. He's just a really good teammate.
No, he's a douche like all the other guys that are like that. Just
you
like
gotta be a douche if you're gonna be an alpha
fine.
dog like that, bro.
Yeah, guess what? When you're 5 million years old, you can pretend that you're alpha, and no one cares because the bite isn't there anymore, bro.
Bro,
that old ass guy running around, lifting extra weights,
that
and
guy
then he goes on the field and can't do anything.
That guy will still go on 10 teams and he'll be the best player in 9 of them. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, good luck to him in Saudi Arabia where he's going to score 4 million goals and no one's going to give a shit. How about that?
I hope he goes, look, give me Messi in Miami and put Ronaldo in LA. And, bro, let's do it again for a few more years, bro. Let's have some fun.
Oh, yeah. Phil Neville put Messi. He put something on his Twitter, Messi. And I tweeted at him and I said, bring him home. Bring him home.
Home to the Hard Rock where he's got a sponsorship.
Because when England won big, he put it's coming home. And I say, hey, relax. You know, it's Costa Rica, or I don't remember who it was that they dogged. I said, hey, relax. It's only so and so, and they're not. It's not. It wasn't going home, but bring. I know he watches the show too. Bring Messi home.
There you go. Xavi, go hit up your boy Higuain, since he calls you Chavito.
I'm gonna see if he lets me go over to watch the game. Un asado.
Xavier.
I'm gonna tweet at him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tweet at him.
What do you think he lives? Weston?
No.
Wonky. Alpha douche.
Alpha equals douche. That's true.
It kind of is true. It kind of is true.
But you gotta be sometimes, man.
No, but that's fine. But at some point you gotta drop that bullshit stick. That's all. Yes,
it's not stick though. It's not stick though. It is him.
I would be okay for him to drop it if he was going out there and looking like a trash player. Like, dude, you're not that good. But he's still
benched
good.
him, and all of a sudden the team looked better.
They had one decent game with him benched, but it's not because he can't play. Again, I'm not gonna knock the guy or kick the guy when he's down. This has been a bad year for the guy, but he's still one of the best of all time. Messi won him. Just
this word just keeps circling in my mind. It's ungrateful. People are so ungrateful of what this guy has done for the game, what he's shown throughout the years.
It's the same argument that I have.
He still has.
He's the best, but
he still has.
I don't care.
He still has something in the tank,
bro.
Well, look. The last game, the most important game. Do you bench this player? Would you bench that type of player in a game where you need experience?
If all other 11 to 20 guys are like, "Yo, I'm done with this idiot," yes. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Hey, to be fair, the Portugal coach Berhaltered himself by benching this guy in the game, okay? And not starting him, because if you lose, everybody's going to say you lost because you didn't play your best guy.
So what you're saying is every sport has become like basketball now. The players run the asylum. LeBron picks everybody. What they say the coach has to do. That's what you're telling me, because if all these little guys in Portugal are telling me, hey, this guy sucks, I'm telling them, you guys better shut up. This guy's the one that's going to lead us. You follow his lead and you go.
Spoken like a true Madrid fan. I love it.
Right out of the group stage. Because no one likes and doesn't help anyone else get better, bro.
Actually, you know who was the most?
They benched him.
Bruno Fernandes?
They benched him, and some random kid no one ever heard of scores the only hat trick in the entire World Cup, bro. Like, give me a break.
He got lucky. Beginner's luck, no?
Oh, yeah.
To be fair.
Beginner's luck.
To be fair, I find Bruno Fernandes
is a pain in the ass.
So much more unlikable. Like that guy complained about everything every time I watched him. He was,
and he was accusing the refs of like being. I remember something. He said something after that game, like, "Oh yeah, they were paid." I was like, "Bro, no,
get out of here."
The only thing that happened in that game that they lost was João Felix couldn't finish to save his fucking life. The kid had 13 amazing chances and couldn't finish any of them. That was literally the
great
only
hair
reason they
though.
lost.
Phenomenal hair. I love the hair. But all right. Great show, guys. We've run long. Thanks, everybody, for participating. Thanks.
What happened there?
You thought I was going to leave you without some spicy sports nuggets? Come on, bro.
Vidal Sassoon. What happened, Vidal Sassoon?
Here we go, bro. Messi is leading the World Cup in goals and assists.
Yes.
How about that? He's tied with Mbappe in goals. He's tied with Harry Kane, your nemesis Bruno Fernandes, and Antoine Griezmann in assists.
Ooh,
so
Griezmann,
how about
bro.
that? Yeah.
Griezmann.
Also, silver cap for Leo Messi. That's what ESPN called it. He played in his 25th, or he will be playing in his 25th game at the FIFA World Cup, which tied German legend Lothar Matthäus for most World Cup appearances by a male player.
Really?
Yeah.
By a male player.
25 games?
25 World Cup matches.
So he's played more than Pelé?
Apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, Pelé got beat up a couple of times in the World Cup and missed some games too. So.
Well, also the less teams, I think, too, right? So less games.
Yeah, less games. Also, Messi scored his 8th go-ahead goal at the World Cup, breaking a tie with Paulo Rossi, Luis Suarez, and Gerd Müller for most.
Hold on, you said it wrong. It's Gerd Müller. Gerd Müller.
My bad.
Right.
and he's only got history. He's only got history that has a combination of I think it's 11 goals and 9 assists. He has to do with 20 goals in the World Cup.
But he's not good enough because he didn't win a team tournament. But
that's right.
And he's the oldest.
Glad you're on board, Achilles.
But let me. You're not understanding. This is very, very like Marino, greatest quarterback.
Didn't win a Super Bowl.
No, exactly. And he's always gonna have that hanging over him. He has to win it, not just
but all his records have been broken.
He has to do it for himself.
Now, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Marino had him back then too. There's gonna be other people coming.
Like that.
All right. Also, Messi's the oldest.
He's gotta win.
He's the oldest man to score 5 goals in a single World Cup.
Oldest man?
Yeah.
But he's only 35?
Yeah, he's 35.
Golly.
That's old for a professional soccer player.
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I wonder who the oldest woman is.
Any other
it's got to be a U.S. women's national team player.
I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe Brazil, because Brazil has ladies like.
That's right. What's her name?
And Sinclair
or Miga or something like that.
A monster, dude.
And she's really old.
I feel like Rapinoe's been there for like a million years. I'm pretty sure Rapinoe was on the team that won it when Brandy Chastain was swinging her jersey around.
Rapinoe's not that old, bro.
I feel like she's been there forever.
She was on the bench.
She brought on Amy Wambach back in the day. So, just saying.
All right. We're losing our focus.
All right, we're done. I leave. Is that the last spicy sports nugget, Gus?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
On this day.
There it is.
In 2007, the The Mitchell report is publicly released, listing the names of 89 Major League Baseball players that presumably used anabolic steroids. How about that?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
You
could be on that report and be in the Hall of Fame unless your name is Barry Bonds. So,
yeah. Or Jose Canseco.
Yeah.
No. Jose Canseco, that guy's
Hall of Fame. He's a famer, man.
No, that guy's trash. Anyway, that concludes our show. Any other last interruptions, things before we go?
On this day.
Shut up, Gus.
In 2020.
Good grief.
Lewis Hamilton won his 7th F1 World Championship. How about that?
Yeah.
Amazing.
F1 lacked. We got spoiled with our inaugural season of F1 being so phenomenal that,
Achilles on this day, Achilles came back and then clocked out early.
Yeah, I was about to give him props and thank him for being on the show and making an appearance. Hopefully we'll have him back next week, but if he hops back on, I'll be on for a few minutes. But other than that, let's get out of here, guys. Great
Adios,
show.
familia.
Everybody wave goodbye to everybody. Thanks to Kevin, his trombone. And enjoy the game tomorrow, guys.